Gov. Kate Brown on Monday again called for state leaders to find a long-term solution for Oregon's budget problems. During a Q&A session in front of a ballroom full of executives and lobbyists, the Democrat said Oregon has a structural budget deficit that she expects will continue for years. This year, lawmakers entered the legislative session with an estimated $1.4 billion budget shortfall, which they eventually managed to close. Oregon's state government must pass a balanced budget every 2 years. Problems have arisen because although revenue continues to grow, expenses have outpaced the gains. Brown said she wants to find solutions for future rounds of budget negotiations. Though she did not specifically call for state lawmakers to pass new or higher taxes, Brown said she hopes to identify policies that will stabilize revenues for the long haul. Last year, Brown endorsed the ill-fated Measure 97, which would have increased business taxes by an estimated $6 billion each 2-year budget cycle. Voters soundly rejected the measure. "It is time that we quit kicking this can down the road," Brown said at the Oregon Leadership Summit, in Portland. She said she's asked her staff to put together a list with a handful of options. Some of those options, Brown said, could include policies aimed at chipping away at the $25 billion public pension deficit. The liability has saddled the state's public employers with ever-increasing pension payments, at the expense of expanding services or hiring more staff. In her remarks, Brown praised a task force she assembled to examine ways to cut the deficit. She said they came up with innovative and creative solutions, which were presented to the public in a November report. The task force's ideas include encouraging public employers to sell assets, spend reserve funds, redirect funds towards pension payments, or find other ways to raise money for the retirement system. Whether any of those proposals are politically feasible is uncertain, with the Democrat-dominated legislature reticent to cut back on public employee benefits. The labor unions that represent those employees are key campaign donors for Brown, the Democratic Party of Oregon, and many Democratic legislators. On Monday, Brown raised the prospect of greater cost sharing by public employees. She noted a bill introduced in the legislature last year that would have required public employees to contribute to their pensions. It died without a vote, but Brown said that bill provides the framework for further discussions. One lawmaker, Rep. Gene Wisnant, R. Sun River, has said he will introduce legislation aimed at preventing pensioners from spiking retirement benefits by factoring in pay from side jobs. Brown also highlighted Oregon's strong economy, which has continued to grow and add jobs at a faster rate on average than the rest of the country. Unemployment is low in Oregon and overall economic indicators have generally been on the uptick. But Brown said she recognizes that the economic boom is not evenly distributed among Oregonians. The state's rural residents are struggling more than its urban ones, she said.